I don't quite know what to say. I'm truly shocked to see the storyteller again, alive and well. I've changed my voice.
This was unexpected by me too, as I did not plan to appear before you all again. I was convinced that you would all see the last of me at the parade.
But this is the trial for your murder. And you are alive.
Yeah, see? No one was killed. Let's call this whole thing off and never have witch trials again. Whoa, Maya, take it easy. We're still in court, right? What's the point of this? The storyteller wasn't killed. Espella would never do anything to harm her dad.
Objection.
If only it was as simple as that to end this trial. However, it is not, Miss Fey. But, Professor... Search your memory, and you will know the reason why. The crime Miss Cantabella is accused of is not just murder. The purpose of the witches' court is to sentence the witches for what they are. Isn't that right, Mr. Storyteller? I fully intend to expose the true identity of Bezella, and this would not be possible without you, Mr. Storyteller, on the witness stand.
I see. And so, you assume the role of an inquisitor just to lure me here.
Be that as it may, the Inquisition still maintains that Espella Cantabella is the Great Witch Bezella. Dad.
It's been a long time, Espella. 4 years, in fact. You must have experienced many hardships living among the townsfolk. This daughter of mine never fits in with the others, no matter how hard she tries.
It wasn't quite like that. There were people who supported me. Aunt Patty was very kind, and the customers who came to our bakery were very nice to me.
I'm happy to hear that. I wanted to watch over you ever since you left for the town. But in the end, I failed to do so. I had no idea what was happening to you. I am very sorry, Espella.
Oh, Dad, you don't need to apologize to me for anything. It's me that owes you an apology. I was trying to hurt you.
It was all my fault, not yours. There's no reason for you to blame yourself.
Dad, I'm happy we got to talk.
Espella.
You were so busy writing everyone's stories that we stopped talking to each other. Before, it was different. You used to have time for me.
Please forgive me. Why did it have to come to this?
Mr. Storyteller, it's time to put everything in order now. The townsfolk and your daughter deserve to know the truth. The truth about yourself and the story. Your dad is an ass, Espella. Don't take any blame, girl.
Yes, I suppose it is time I told you the truth. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Storyteller? Let us begin. In this trial, I shall be judged. Understood. The witness shall testify. People of Labyrinthia who've gathered in this court. I will now tell you the true story. Many of you will certainly find it hard to believe and difficult to accept. Nevertheless, I ask you to please lend me an ear and listen with open minds. Espella, my dear daughter, I ask you to do the same too. Although you know me as a storyteller, I have one more identity. I am the president of Labrelem Inc. This whole town is one of Labrelem's research facilities. It may be hard for you to comprehend. This land is rich in a very special substance, which affects everyone who lives here. This substance enables the manipulation of people's minds, and that is what Labrelem is researching. This experiment began 10 years ago. The townsfolk all became test subjects.
I don't understand. What does it all mean? I don't quite understand what I've just heard.
I do not blame you. I suppose all the townsfolk are just as confused. Labyrinthia is an artificial town, created entirely by me. But of course, as artificial as it may be, it is the reality for those who live here. For the past 10 years, I have been bringing the illusion to life by writing the story.
I am lost for words. It feels like the whole world has been turned on its head.
Your Honor, it is certainly not an easy matter to grasp this new situation at once. Regardless, I suggest we hear more of what the witness has to say.
Yes, I agree. Let's continue. Defense may begin the interrogation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hold it!
This is too much. I don't even know where to start. Labralem Inc. That's a name I've heard of before. It is a global pharmaceutical company with headquarters in England. If my memory serves me right, it was founded by Arthur Cantabella. Indeed, that is my true name. Were you familiar with that, Mr. Wright? Sure, yeah, I've heard of Labralem Inc., of course. Labralem Inc. is known for developing completely harmless anesthetic about 20 years ago. It is now widely used in hospitals all around the world. The company is also working on various other plant-derived sedatives, revolutionizing medicine. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your vast knowledge, Mr. Layton.
Objection!
That's irrelevant. The fact is just based on the real world we're from, not Labyrinthia. The real world, Mr. Wright. Then what would you call this world we are now? Do you think this is a fantasy? No, that's not what I meant. Mr. Wright, I do not mean to be so rude as to presume I know what thoughts are running through your head. However, Labyrinthia is certainly not a place within a book or in the past. Labyrinthia is a part of the world we know. Huh? What? But how could a town like this exist in the real world? Do you think it's impossible? Why would that be? Are you saying that everyone would know about an unusual town like this if it existed? It's something like that. Anyway, it would be on a map at least. No, I'm afraid that cannot be so. Huh? This town is not marked on any map. It doesn't officially exist. What do you mean? The answer is quite simple.
Hold it!
This whole town is a research facility? Yes, this whole area is a private property of Labralem Inc. So they own all this land then? That is why Labyrinthia is not marked on any map, and people from the outside cannot enter. We have taken measures to ensure that this town is not noticed by local residents. That's quite simple. I have an inordinate amount of money. What measures are you talking about? Consider the fact that magic is supposed to exist in this town. Perhaps special mechanisms that were used to create magic also serve to conceal Labyrinthia. There are limits to what magic the Shades are capable of producing on their own, after all. That is the case indeed. The magic in this town has been made feasible owing to the latest technology.
Technology? Tricks? I cannot believe this.
However, there's one question. There is no industry in Labyrinthia. How do you obtain necessary commodities? Very observant, aren't you? All commodities are regularly shipped in by sea. A young man once made his way here on a freighter and took a spella out of the town. That was Carmine Accidenti, a friend of mine. I see. But is something on this scale really possible? As you might suspect, it would be beyond the power of Labralem Inc. to keep a facility this size a secret for so long. Labyrinthia is a project co-founded by the British government.
What? It's a government project? But what would be their stake in this?
It's all because of my beliefs.
His beliefs?
Oh, by the way. Yes, Your Honor.
What is a research facility? I've never heard of anything like that before.
Ah, yes, that was careless of me. Naturally, you wouldn't know what it means. How should I explain? This whole town is my creation.
Oh, that's what it was about. In other words, it's all your story. That makes it all clear. No way, the government would never do anything bad.
Swing and a miss, Your Honor. Getting back to the topic. There's an important reason why we have chosen to build such a facility here.
Hold it!
A special substance? What does it actually do?
This area has been isolated since ancient times, developing its own unique culture.
There are underground ruins on the verge of the town. We found writings there, presumably left by the natives of this land. A bell that was supposed to be there was missing.
So you have seen the ruins. I suspected that you would find them. Then perhaps you would have also noticed that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition.
What peculiar condition, you say? I can't just sit here quietly like a patient old man when you're saying such things. Just what kind of condition is this?
It's Peyronie's. You have every right to know. This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound of a certain metal being struck.
Metal? What kind of metal?
Pure silver. And so, there's not a single object made of silver in Labyrinthia.
Now that I think of it, that's true. Just imagine what a disaster a fancy dinner would be if everyone fainted whenever they used silver cutlery.
This condition is an integral part of magic.
How so?
All inhabitants of Eldritch Woods carry small silver bells.
I see now. The shades ring the bells when they need to create the illusion of magic. Everyone present falls unconscious, and the shades set to their work.
Oh, look at where that shade's hand was. So that's the secret of the time-stealing magic Darklaw told us about.
Now that I mention it. Kira had a small bell with her when we saw her back at the marketplace.
We have been researching this condition at Labralem Inc. And finally, we discovered its cause. It was the groundwater.
Water causes it?
The groundwater contains a certain unique substance found in the soil in the area.
So, if you drink that water, you get this silver allergy thing?
But, of course we've been drinking it. It's impossible to live without water. Of course. That's why everyone who lives here has that condition.
Oh dear.
You needn't worry. This condition is harmless, especially as silver is unknown to the townsfolk.
Something's still not quite right, though. If the sound of silver bells makes people pass out, why don't the shades pass out too?
Although the effect of the substance in groundwater is powerful, it doesn't last long. The condition will vanish after a day or so without drinking that water.
Oh, that's convenient.
That substance's effects aren't limited to humans. It can also affect plants to a great extent.
Plants are affected by it?
Our research was focused on the plants rather than humans.
Hold it!
That sounds really scary. Just what is this about?
The substance enters the groundwater, affecting organisms that consume it.
People who drink it daily acquire that odd condition. They fall unconscious upon hearing the sound of silver metal.
Yes, although the substance in groundwater also has a tremendous effect on plants. Wildflowers in this area contain a certain poison.
Harm my beard, poison?
This poison doesn't harm the body, it has the effect of manipulating the mind.
So it brainwashes people.
I've been writing the story for 10 years.
The title of the story is Historia Labyrinthia.
The ink I used to write it was made from those plants.
Oh, Nick, do you remember how funny the ink smelled?
That was the gas released when the ink evaporates, and that's where the trick is.
What?
Those that inhale the gas become extremely susceptible to suggestion.
You mean brainwashing?
They will believe anything they are told, or anything they read, however strange or unrealistic.
I feel like this would go poorly in a real life situation. More poorly than it already has.
It will be imprinted into their minds as the truth.
But that was the true purpose of the parades. Do you think they manufactured some of that fancy stuff on site, or did they, like, deliver it? Pages of the story, written in that special ink, were regularly distributed among the townspeople. Also, every single one of those town people in that image are very Professor Layton characters. It was done so that everyone be in a state of hypnosis. Layton's like, good thing a gentleman never drinks water or reads.
Indeed. The creation of a fully controlled town with its inhabitants subject to long-term hypnosis. That was one of the topics of our research.
Then, the story that is written in the story Labyrinthia,
You could call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, realized through the Shade's work, the hypnotic effect of the ink vapors.
is that how it was all this time?
Labralum used hypnosis to control all these people.
I can't believe the government was supporting that.
Government evil? No way.
Hold it!
All the people subjected to this experiment have been living here all this time?
No, we started with just a few people, gradually getting more and more.
I must say that I am afraid of what the answer to this question might be, but where did these people come from? You haven't resorted to abduction by any chance, have you?
Of course not. Every test subject signed a contract with Labralum.
A contract to have their memories erased and be used like pawns in a story?
The current inhabitants of this town have one thing in common. They were all dissatisfied with their lives and wanted to start anew, forgetting about their mistakes, forsaking unwanted identities.
You're telling me the British government did crimes?
No way. There are more people like that out there than you might think. They have all agreed to participate in our research.
But that's insane.
It's not as unreasonable as you suggest. We gave them a new identity, a chance to start their life again. In return, they subject themselves to hypnosis and live in this town as their test subjects. In order for this project to be possible, we suppress their memories of the past, including the memory of signing the contract. So ultimately, they are not aware of what is going on.
You couldn't agree more. I've got no idea what's going on.
Let me make this clear, Mr. Wright. We do not erase their memories, we suppress them. They will regain their memories of life before Labyrinthia once their contract is over.
So this place wasn't uninhabited before you started this research 10 years ago?
And you've managed to keep everyone in a state of hypnosis for 10 years straight?
Can you really hypnotize someone for that long? I mean, 10 years is one heck of a long time.
It was achieved through distribution of the story during parades. The ink vapors have a effect, but it wouldn't last 10 years, of course. With each parade, the effect was renewed. That's why the parades took place at regular intervals. That was the true purpose of that event. I have been born and raised here. It was a poor, small town with no industry to speak of that had fallen behind the times. Ever since I was a child, I had one friend that was especially close to me. He was a bright boy, curious about the world. His name was Newton Belduke.
Sir Newton Belduke, the alchemist.
So they were childhood friends. The plot thickens. He had always been interested in the unique natural features of this land. There was really nothing here, but to us this area was an exciting place worth exploring. And one day, we made an astonishing discovery on the outskirts of the town. We stumbled upon the entrance to the underground caverns leading to the colossal ruins. Well, look at that, Newton. This is so amazing. This strange writing, I've never seen anything like it before. We found ancient writings in the ruins. Newton managed to decode some of them. According to our findings, a highly advanced culture had existed on the land where our little town was built. Some great calamity had befallen the natives, and they migrated elsewhere. They believed that plants and water in that area were cursed by an entity they called the Great Witch Pazella. The natives sealed the curse within the ruins and left in search of a new home. That is all that we managed to decipher. Pazella's curse? It was sealed in the ruins, you say? Would that be the Bell of Ruin? The Bell of Ruin. Oh, that's the bell from the bell tower. I wonder why it's got an ominous name like that. Regrettably, we couldn't get any further information from the writings at that time. Needless to say, Newton and I were very excited by the discovery. I knew it. This place is special. It has some kind of mysterious power. If we could find out what that is, our humble town would become famous. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I will unravel the mystery of this place. Also, you can't tell how old they are because they have the same hair color as they do now, just a little bit whiter. So this guy could be like in his 40s or something. And so Newton began studying indigenous plants and substances dissolved in the groundwater. On the other hand, I studied economics and management at a university in London. I dreamed of bringing prosperity to this poor, forgotten town. I wanted to change it for the better with my own hands. Meanwhile, Newton has succeeded extracting a new anesthetic from the local plants. Was that the anesthetic which led to the foundation of Labrillum? Yes, it was a huge success for Labrillum Inc., and before we knew it, we were making a fortune. We wanted the whole world to hear about our hometown. Alas, fate was not kind to us, as we never realized that dream. Everyone in our town had died. All the townspeople perished. Huh?
Just what on earth happened to them?
They got on a boat and sailed to South Africa, and then they found 3 mermaids that had 6 titties each, and then they all died. It was on a boat called the Oberdin. That does not matter anymore. We purchased the environs of our town, the mountains, the lakes, the plains, the everything. Also, as well as a mermaid. Then 10 years ago, I received financial support from the government. We started Project Labyrinthia. It was much smaller in the beginning. It started as no more than a village. Over the course of 10 years, it slowly grew to a town. The population increased as well.
More people were signing contracts with Labrillum, slowly increasing the number of inhabitants, correct?
Yes, they would sign the contract, be hypnotized and assigned a role, and then be introduced to the world of the story.
God, his voice is hard on my throat. Oh my god.
I have spoken at length. Thank you for patiently listening to my tale. Bazella is the name of a witch from an ancient legend that we read about in the ruins. It is a fictional character. She does not exist.
But then, magic and witches.
Magic is just an illusion, and there are no witches.
Alright, so it is all fake. That doesn't make it much better. Why did you write a story where people get killed with magic and witches are thrown into the fire? You could have made a peaceful, pleasant world where everyone would be happy.
No, that was not possible.
But why?
This is the research facility after all. We're researching ways to completely control human beings. Test subjects need to expose extreme situations, so we decided on a fantasy setting. We wouldn't have got funding from the government otherwise.
This next Sand Planet so bugs you hate being here on Sand Planet? Then leave Sand Planet, Jordy.
In other words, we're running a business. And because this is capitalism, we don't care if people die.
But just what instructions do you give to the people you hypnotize? You don't give them each of them a full set of memories of their whole fictional life, do you?
No, it's much more simple than that. We only give them 2 pieces of information. The first one, that they were born in this town, and the second was their new occupation. Then they fill in the gaps themselves without being aware of it. The human mind requires a consistent story of one's life. Which means, of course, that no Labyrinthian has memories from earlier than 10 years ago. No one has any memories from before they came to Labyrinthia.
What are you saying? That's a wouldn't be lie. I am who I am.
But who can you remember your childhood? I can't.
Yes, true. I can't remember even my parents.
No way, I can't recall my own mother's face.
As you can hear, no one can remember their real past. There are no exceptions.
Huh? Wait a second. No exceptions. I smell a contradiction here.
Ah, it seems Mr. Wright too has noticed it now. What are you talking about, Layton?
Mr. Cantabella, you have just testified that not a single citizen of this town remembers anything from more than 10 years ago.
Yes, as that is the truth.
Now, that's a strange assertion, especially coming from you.
What? What do you mean?
There is one person in this town who remembers what happened more than 10 years ago.
That cannot be. It is impossible. They must be merely imagining things now.
Mr. Wright, please enlighten us all. Who is this person that remembers their past? Well, it's Aspella.
Take that!
She remembers the fire.
Precisely, Mr. Wright. That person is none other than Aspella Cantabella. What? That's impossible.
It's true, Dad. I remember it clearly as if it happened yesterday. The legendary fire.
No, that's impossible. That's just your imagination, Spella.
No, it's not. I couldn't remember it before, but all came back to me because I'm Bazella.
No, no, no. Espella, there are no witches. That fire is just a bad dream.
The Inquisition would like to call Espella Cantabella to testify.
What?
Regardless of whether Miss Cantabella is Bazella or not. Her memories may contain valuable clues.
Yes, that may be so. No, wait. I don't agree to this. This trial is over, Your Honor.
Objection.
You seem to be forgetting something, Mr. Cantabella. Your story has ended. You are no longer in control. It's impossible. Cut your prefrontal cortex out. You are merely one of the characters. And this is also why we will not cease seeking the truth until we find it.
Hey friends, what is your opinion on this?
Spella keeps insisting that she's the witch Bazella. As her attorney, I should refuse to let her speak to the court. But what's really important now is finding the truth, just as Layton said. There's only one way to proceed with this trial, and that's by questioning Miss Cantabella about her memories.
In that case, the court summons Isabella Cantabella as a witness. Defendants, bring the accused to the witness stand. Now, witness, testify about your memories of the legendary fire.
Yes, my lord. I was just a little girl then. It happened during the annual fire festival. Everyone was gathered in the town square for the fire festival. I was watching them from the bell tower. The Great Witch Bazella woke within me, and I brought calamity upon the town. Enormous fire dragon appeared. I was trembling with fear, terrified by what I had summoned.
Witness, what you have told us wasn't a bad dream or a fairy tale, but you actually experienced.
Yes, it was. Like I have already said. I remember it very clearly. The heat from the fire, the smell of smoke.
Isabella, what are you talking about? The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Was there really a huge fire that destroyed the town? What about Bazella? Is she even real? The answers are in Isabela's testimony. You scam people in the Caribbean? Oh my god. I forgot about that.
Hold it!
Do you remember what age you were then? I'm not quite sure, but I think I was 6 or 7.
And how old are you now?
I'm 18 years old.
That means those events did take place more than 10 years ago. It's very odd that you have memories of that old, but perhaps you're mistaken about your age at the time.
Objection!
Your Honor, no one besides Isabella has witnessed the legendary fire, which would mean that the incident occurred before Labyrinthia was created, over 10 years ago.
Oh, yes, I suppose that makes sense.
That doesn't make sense at all. How many times do I need to tell you there are no witches, no magic, the legendary fire is just a story? This interrogation serves no purpose.
Mr. Cantabella, the court asked you to be quiet during another witness's testimony unless you were asked to speak.
Ugh.
Everyone's... Let's see.
Hold it!
Could you tell us a little more about this fire festival you were watching? And about how you scammed innocent people of thousands of dollars in the Caribbean? Yes, it seems to be an ancient custom in this area. The townspeople make a fire offering the Great Witch Bazella so that she will not bring misfortunes upon them. Great fires lit in the middle of the town square. The festival lasts all night long.
That's correct. The festival takes place once every year. It's quite magnificent with all the townsfolk assembled in the square. Alas, it's counterfeit memory, imprinted in our minds by you.
No, This festival has been held here since before I was born. It appears to be a very old custom indeed.
By the way, why were you in the bell tower in the first place?
Huh?
You know, you said everyone was at the town square. Why weren't you there?
I can't remember. I probably went there because Bazella woke within me.
Despite having vivid memories of the fire, you do not remember much of anything else that occurred at that time.
Yeah. I was at the top of the bell tower looking down at people in the town square. Someone was with me there. Yeah, that's right. It was Eve.
Eve, her black cat, huh?
I didn't think Eve was that old.
Hmm?
Well then. Great. Let's see.
Hold it!
Do you remember casting a spell?
I cannot remember. But that town perishing in flames so fast is engraved in my memory.
Must be very hairy memory.
I think that whenever Bazella takes over my body, my consciousness drifts away. I'm sure of it. There's no mistake about me being Bazella.
What makes you so certain about it?
Because Eve has always been with me.
You mean that black cat? How is that relevant? According to the legend of Bazella, she was always accompanied by a black cat. That small furry animal is actually her minion, in the stories, that is.
Eve was there with me. I'm sure she was. I saw the town engulfed in flames.
These memories are causing her a lot of pain.
Spell, hang in there.
Here, we'll go back. Press.
Hold it!
Talk to the storyteller for that.
Hang on!
You look upset, Mr. Cantabella.
Ah, pardon me. Did you want something?
I'd like to know what you think about Miss Bella's last statement.
My opinion about all this has not changed since last time. It's all just a dream. Listen to me, Miss Bella. You are not Bazella. There was no legendary fire. Dad, you have no idea how much I want to believe you, but I just can't. I remember what I saw and how it felt. The heat, the smoke. Magic doesn't exist. It belongs in fairy tales. There are no fire dragons either.
God, his voice is bad on my throat. So bad, Miss Bella seems certain that she saw a fire dragon that time. However, as long as we do not have any evidence to support or disprove this claim, we can't make any progress.
Do I have any relevant evidence?
Anything that could demonstrate that the fire dragon spell saw as a child was real. Do I? What is that? Is that a fire dragon drawing? I don't think I have anything for this yet.
I don't think there's anything I could use.
I can understand your choice to be cautious with your judgment, Mr. Wright. However, I must remind you that the only way to discover the whole truth is to bring to light the nature, true nature, that which I witnessed by the accused. I guess he has a point there. Maybe I overlooked some clues in the testimony? Let's arm ourselves to the teeth with evidence and give it another shot. Alright, but first we need more info. Time to do some pressing. Okay.
Hold it!
Can you tell me more about that fire dragon? That monstrous image is still so vivid. It looked just like the one that attacked Dad this evening. I've done something terrible again. Then you are sure that the fire dragon you saw more than 10 years ago and the one summoned this evening were exactly the same? Yes, they were definitely the same. But Spella, magic isn't real. Therefore, the dragon summoned by the spell Grandworm doesn't exist either. But I did see it. I'm not lying. I saw it just for a moment. I'm sure of it. It's like talking to a wall. There's no convincing her. There might be another explanation. Espella might have seen something in the shape of a dragon. Alright then. Nick, Mr. Cantabella wrote this town story, right? Well, yeah. So he's the author, and he's saying that Mazel doesn't exist. That's right. If that's the case, then there's no point in this whole trial. We know that, but that's not enough to end it. But why? The professor has taken on the role of inquisitor in this trial in order to get Mr. Cantabella to testify. He wants to get to the bottom of this mystery. And learn the whole truth. Besides, I think this will be in Bella's best interest too. I trust the professor's judgment on this, so I'll carry on with cross-examination. Well, I trust you, Nick. I'm sure you know what you're doing.
Hold it!
Alright, we need to ask the storyteller about this now.
Hang on!
Is something wrong, Mr. Cantabella?
It's impossible. There's no such thing as magic.
You never believe me, Dad. I don't know why you have to be like this. There was a time when things were different.
Espella, what are you saying?
Look at them. It's like a common argument between a teenager and a parent. Mr. Cantabella created this town. He knows better than anyone else that there's no magic here.
Miss Cantabella,
Yes?
would you mind giving us more details of what you saw?
Could I borrow a sheet of parchment and a pencil? I think it'd be better if I draw it.
Your request shall be granted. Your request shall be granted. Bring parchment and a pencil for the witness immediately.
I keep forgetting who I am. Dargan. Look at that Dargan. Also, that's really good for her to, like, draw that all out. This is it. This is the fire dragon I saw that night. I only caught a glimpse of it, but it was real. God, he's pissed. Whoa, she actually a really good drawer.
I must say, it does closely resemble the supposedly magical creatures we witnessed this evening. It does indeed. This drawing shall be out as evidence. This is a farce.
What happened over a decade ago? Was the town really destroyed by a fire dragon?
Discovering the truth about the dragon shall be our next objective. Witness, continue testimony.
Yes, my lord. Okay, so we got our piece. We got our piece of evidence. Now we can do this.
Hold it! Hang on!
You. Yep. We already did this before. Well, I gotta drink water because his voice is grating. Do I have relevant evidence? Anything that could demonstrate that the fire dragon spell saw as a child was real. I have it. Your Honor,
What is it, Defender?
defense will present evidence.
Evidence? I suppose you mean evidence that will prove that my daughter's memories of the dragon amount to nothing more than wild imagination.
On the contrary, I'm pretty positive a spell did see the dragon.
What? I thought you had more sense than you.
Well, aren't we all curious about what the defense has got to show us? Present evidence that proves the dragon appeared in this town over 10 years ago.
Take that!
Dragon. It is, of course, a spell's drawing of the dragon. It's impossible to draw a dragon with so much detail unless you've actually seen it.
Indeed. And it looks very much like the fire dragon we saw this evening. It cannot be a mere coincidence.
You can't possibly use that drawing as evidence.
And why not?
Because she could have just drawn the dragon from this evening.
Dad, why don't you believe me? I saw that dragon when I was little.
This town is my creation. I know everything about it. I assure you there's no magic. If there's anyone who can tell you what's possible and what is not, it is me, the creator of Labyrinthia.
Your overconfidence has clouded your judgment. It's preventing you from seeing the truth.
What do you mean?
In order to see what's really there, you need to reject biased assumptions and keep an open mind. You are overlooking certain facts precisely because you are the creator of this town.
It's nothing short of insanity.
Magic doesn't exist, and yet Espella says she saw a fire dragon. It seems like a contradiction, but perhaps it is not. Mr. Wright. Yeah? The solution to this mystery is out there. We just need to find it. Do you suppose you know where it is? Magic doesn't exist. Espella saw a fire dragon. Where is the evidence that brings the gap between the two? Is it that? Is that the dragon right there? In the belfry? There's only one way to explain this contradiction. Spell somehow saw a mad dragon, but it wasn't a magical creature.
Then will you just tell us what it was?
That event took place over 10 years ago. What she saw then should still be in the place where she was at the time.
It's still there?
Yes, Your Honor. And that place is the belfry.
It's in the belfry.
Over 10 years ago. The witness was standing somewhere around here when she saw a fire dragon, am I correct? Yes, Mr. Layton. However, what was it that you actually saw then? Let us see if we can find the answer to that question.
Why not? Go ahead and try, but I've warned you that it's futile. You will find nothing here.
Well, it happened a long time ago. Whatever she saw may not be there anymore. If we want to see exactly what she saw at the time, we'll need to set the whole town on fire. Want me to go get matches? I may be an attorney, but even I couldn't clear you of all of the charges if you actually committed such a crime, Maya. I will pretend I did not hear that. Shall we begin? Everyone's like, Maya, shut up. Let us look for the fire dragon. We can sell you the whole town from here. Look in every direction for something that would resemble Miss Cantabella's drawing. Well, that's not a mechanism. Oh, there it is. It's right there.
Take that!
She is a really good drawer. She copied that down, like, real good. Miss Bella, can you have a look at this? It looks like a dragon's hiding here after all. Oh, this is... Hey, that's identical to the one that Spell drew. It's not the fire dragon. The fire crash dragon was a creature made of flames. It was so big it could swallow this whole town. This is just some tiny fretwork. I think we consider this mystery solved. I suggest we all head back to the court. I'll explain everything there. Is that all right with you, Mr. Cantabella? He left. What's going on, Mr. Cantabella? He looks paler than you do with a cold. I have no idea. Let's follow the others back into the court.
Inquisition's investigations revealed some unexpected results. But can someone explain them to me?
Your Honor, the Inquisition will interpret the results of its investigation. Witness, you said you were about 6 years old at the time of that incident. Yes, that's right. Did you see the moment the dragon appeared above the town? Huh? No, I don't remember. I remember seeing at some point it was like a flash. The town was ablaze, and this fiery beast was hovering above it. Then when you noticed the dragon, the town was already engulfed by flames? Yes? The information completes the picture. Miss Cantabella's statement has offered me an insight into the true story of the fire dragon. Over 10 years ago, Miss Cantabella was in the belfry, unconscious. What events led to this? Perhaps we will discover that in due course. When she awoke, the whole town was on fire. Having inhaled much smoke, she was still dazed. She was only vaguely aware of her surroundings when she looked up, alarmed by the scorching heat. Unable to stand, she was on her knees. And then, she saw something she remembered her whole life. She saw a terrifying fire dragon attacking the town. She saw it through the fretwork and the balustrade. The shape of a dragon against the backdrop of town being swallowed up by flames became imprinted in her memory. That is the truth about the fire dragon. This is what I've deduced. It wasn't a monster? Miss Cantabella, the illustration you have drawn for us bears an uncanny resemblance to the fretwork in the belfry. You saw the dragon when you were confused, possibly mildly asphyxiated from the smoke. There was no magic, and no magical beast. You believe a stranger, but not your father. That's typical of teenagers. You should have listened to me. And now that all the mysteries have been unraveled, can we not end this trial and go home?
Objection.
Wow, typical bad dad. Typical bad parent that thinks teenagers are stupid. Teenagers can be smarter than you think they are. Just because they fight you on a lot of things doesn't mean they're wrong. As much as we all like to, I'm afraid it's still a bit too early for that. What else do you want from us? I mean, they are dumb, but not in the way you think. Yeah. There is just one more problem I'd like to solve tonight.
One more? What on earth could it be?
Miss Cantabella,
We have ascertained that you were in the belfry when you saw the dragon. However, that creates a new question. How did you get there?
Oh, I haven't thought of that.
Yeah, neither have I. Oh! As expected of an ace attorney, Mr. Wright seems to have noticed the problem too, at last. Just a few minutes short, because he's a little bit slow, but he got it. In order to access the belfry, you need to use the bell tower mechanism.
The mechanism can only set in motion with the pendants.
Indeed. Miss Catabella, did you have your pendant with you at the time?
Yes, I think I did. Always had it with me. But why did I have that pendant? I can't remember it at all.
This pendant is not just for show, it's the key to the belfry. Why was she carrying it around? We must also not forget that one pendant does not suffice to operate the contraption. 2 of them are required.
2 pendants.
Miss Cantabella, are you certain that you were alone in the belfry?
No, I wasn't alone. I was there with a friend.
What friend?
Cat! Cat friend! Eve, where did you go off to?
The friend you mentioned, was it this cat?
Yes, she's my best friend. We've always been together. Without Eve, I would have ever been so lonely. That kitty's always appearing out of nowhere to keep Spella company. Of course she does. After all, Bizella's always accompanied by a black cat.
What you saw from the bell tower when you were little was so terrifying that even an adult would have been scarred for life. The town burned in front of your eyes. You thought you saw a fire dragon. You see, your memories have been twisted by the horrors you saw.
What do you mean?
The dragon you saw wasn't real, and I suspect that the friend who was with you in the bell tower might have not have been that cat.
No, it was her. It was my Eve, my only friend.
Miss Cantabella, the pendant needed to access the belfry is too large for a cat. Are you following? If Eve was with you, it would have been impossible for you to enter the belfry. Wait! Inquisitor, where is all this going? You have no right to tamper with my daughter's memories. You are right, of course. However, neither do you. Nor should you attempt to cover up the truth.
No, you're wrong. Eve was my only friend.
Think about that day again, Miss Cantabella. You went to the top of that bell tower with a friend who also had a pendant. Well then, why don't we have the defense present some evidence?
Why me? I don't know.
Can you prove that someone was with Miss Cantabella at the belfry that day? If so, I'd very much like to see the evidence.
What?
Why me? It was the professor's idea. I have nothing on legendary fire. Ask me for proof.
Right. I suppose you wouldn't have any proof. Not one of us remembers that incident.
I've had enough of this, Your Honor. You have no grounds to continue this trial.
Well, we appear to have reached a dead end. There's nothing else for us to do.
Objection.
Please hold on, Your Honor.
Oh, what is this? All of a sudden, Inquisitor Layton?
Defense does not have the necessary evidence, but someone else does.
What do you mean?
This time, the Inquisition will present its evidence. The Inquisition will present evidence? Huh? Seriously?
You son of a witch!
They can talk about, like, dark topics, but they can't say bitch. Cause this is a children's game.
This is what you wanted from the very start, isn't it? Well, in that case, the Inquisition shall present evidence that somebody who was with Miss Cannibal in the bell tower which saw that fire dragon.
This girl has one too. And they're the same.
Have a look.
This is the proof. This photograph shows Miss Cantabella with a friend.
Golly, this is the finest illustration I've ever seen.
It's a photograph.
It looks as if it were a reflection of the real world on paper. Tell me, who created this exquisite work of art?
Well, Your Honor, I understand you are fascinated, but let's focus on what this picture shows. This picture was found in the storyteller's tower. Mr. Cantabella, we have taken the liberty of borrowing it for this trial. It's enough to look away for a second, and you already caused trouble. Professor, are photographs against the rules? I mean, this is supposed to be a medieval setting. Meh, who cares? What's important now is helping Miss Cantabella grasp the truth. And in this case, the end justifies the means. Please take a close look at the two girls in this picture. Each of them is wearing a pendant.
Why, that's so. These are the belfry contraption pendants.
We know that one of these girls is Miss Cantabella. But then, who is the other girl?
Accused, do you have any idea?
Espella, are you okay? Doesn't look like she is. It's me. And the other girl she's... I don't know.
Espella.
Espella! Your Honor, stop this trial. Stop it right now! Can't you see you're driving Spell into sanity?
Objection.
It's just the opposite, Mr. Cantabella. If we turn away from the truth now, Espella will close herself to the world forever. Mr. Wright. Yes? You know who it is, don't you? You know the identity of the other girl in this picture. Yeah, I do.
Is that so? If the defense knows that.
Tell us all who this other girl is. It's Darklaw.
Take that.
I'm thinking it's High Inquisitor Darklaw.
High Inquisitor Darklaw? I cannot say I didn't have slight suspicions about her, but oh my.
Miss Cantabella, what do you say? Do you now remember the girl next to you in this picture? I was with Lady Darklaw. This is crazy. What are you basing this preposterous claim on?
Or Mr. Cantabella, this girl closely resembles the High Inquisitor.
Resembles? That's just your personal opinion. It's meaningless in a court of law.
Objection.
He is losing it. If you want evidence, I've got it. What? The definitive proof that the girl in the picture is High Inquisitor Darklaw is... What? What? This one? Darklaw's pendant. Oh.
Take that.
And this is the proof it was the High Inquisitor.
The pendant needed for that contraption in the bell tower.
I have Miss Darklaw's testimony here. Her neck was scratched moving it. That's right. She said this pendant was hers. And so, the other girl in the picture is definitely Miss Darklaw. Is it? Is it really? Cat! Oh, there goes the cat. Eve, where are you going? Oh, there she is. I was expecting you, Miss Darklaw. I see that I was not mistaken about you. I trusted in your ability to get this far.
Hi, Wizard Darklaw. Where did you disappear from?
Does your memory not serve you well, Your Honor? You know what I am. I can disappear at will anytime I wish to. So, storyteller, everything has worked out just as you had written, oh revered creator of Labyrinthia.
Darklaw.
Lady Darklaw. I like that Spella is just so much smaller already. Literally the smallest person so far.
Miss Darklaw, did you enter the belfry, Miss Cantabella, when you were little?
Yes, I did.
Then you have memories of events from before 10 years ago.
I certainly do.
Order! Order the court!
Lady Darklaw, you were with me? Your memories have been suppressed. By that man. But I was with Eve. Eve, Eve the Black Cat? Yes, she has always been my dear friend. She was by my side on that day too. What a bizarre coincidence. Darklaw isn't my real name. What? What is your real name? It's Eve.
What? What?
You are Eve? Eve. Spella. My dear friend Eve. It can't be that flashback. Was it real?
Darklaw, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to undo everything I have accomplished in the past 10 years?
No, you have already ruined everything yourself.
What is it that you want?
What I want? My aim is to make the truth known, so that everything returns to how it should be.
Miss Darklaw,
Will you tell us what you remember what happened back then more than 10 years ago? It would be my pleasure. It was the day of the fire festival. Spell and I went up the bell tower to scam thousands of unsuspecting people in the Caribbean. The wind was strong that day. When the sun had set, the festival began. It's true that the whole town burned that day. Fire consumed buildings and people, turning them into ashes. We were the only survivors. We stayed in the belfry while the world below us was being eaten up by hungry flames. The legendary fire is no fable. It happened here more than 10 years ago.
Objection!
There are no such things as magic and fire dragons, so how could a whole town be destroyed in just one night? I don't know, a cow? A cow did that once.
yes, that's something I'd like to know as well. Even if we assume this laboratory fire's got out of control, surely the whole town would have perished like that.
Now it all makes sense. That was the missing piece of this puzzle. What do you mean, Professor?
I can imagine now what transpired that night. What happened in the belfry and what caused the legendary fire. We have all the clues we need. If the Inquisition has evidence to show us, I'd very much like to see it. What caused the legendary fire?
The bell.
Have a look.
The cause of the fire is in the belfry.
I'm losing my voice. It was the bell?
That bell had been made by the natives and later sealed underground. It was called the Bell of Ruin. Bell of Ruin. By the way, why does this bell have such an ominous name? Could it be because it's made of pure silver?
Pure silver.
Exactly. Mr. Cantabello has told us earlier that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition. This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound of a certain metal being struck. And that metal is pure silver.
Yes, and we get to conditions brought about by drinking the groundwater.
Indeed. That bell was also the reason why the original inhabitants of the area decided to forsake it. It seems that the Bell of Ruin caused a devastating disaster. To those who have gained entry in the sanctum, heed our words. You must not ring the Bell of Ruin.
I can't but wonder what disaster this bell caused.
An enormous bell made of pure silver. The locals with their peculiar condition. It's not too hard to imagine what happened. It was probably the same calamity as the one that happened over 10 years ago. And that is, well, what disaster happened to this town before Labyrinthia was built?
Ah,
The legendary fire. Now let us contemplate the following scenario. What would happen if the Bell of Ruin was sounded during the fire festival? Oh. Everyone who heard it would fall unconscious. As it was an annual festival, all of the townspeople were assembled in the town square.
oh dear.
Therefore, on the night of the fire festival over 10 years ago, all the residents instantly lost consciousness when the bell was struck. Oh no. Darkla's just smiling, she knows. Had it been even just slightly windy that day, the fires lit for the Great Witch Pizzella would have gone out of control, and they would spread throughout the town with no one left to stop them. Because everyone was unconscious, exactly, that also includes the two girls who were in the belfry. Miss Fallon and I. You were closest to the source of the sound, so it was inevitable. When you recovered consciousness, it was already too late. The town had been swallowed by flames, as if a fire dragon had come to burn it. That was a calamity caused by the bell.
Calamity.
You say here that the cause of the calamity is the Great Witch Pizzella. That night, in this very town, Pizzella was more than a mythical persona.
Pizzella. She's losing it again. The Bell of Ruin.
Did Pizzella ring the bell? Is that why she's losing it? She killed everyone in town. Let me make a safe state.